All right. How's it going, everyone? Um, I'm Braden Jernigan. Here is my review of Dune 2021. So let me just share my screen here. First off, I liked it. It was good. I thought it was a good movie. I enjoyed the time watching it. Here's something to look at while I talk about it. So for those who haven't watched it, Dune is based off of a book by Frank Herbert, which came out in like the 60s. It was one of the inspirations for Star Wars. So it's been around for a long time. There was a movie in the 80s, I have the 21 up here, which wasn't too great from what I've heard. Haven't seen it, but this one was good. I read Dune when I was a teenager, and I remember liking it. I remember having to go to the back of the book a lot to look at the little dictionary that's got back there, because there is a lot going on. So let's see. I guess the non-spoiler section of the review, it's really good. It sets up a world that is interesting. It's unique to some of the things I think we see in sci-fi generally these days. It's definitely, so it's part one, so it's a little slower, but it definitely feels like it's setting up a lot of different just things in the world and the plot wise that will pay off in later movies. So I thought that was fantastic. I guess spoilers for those of you that have seen it or don't care about spoilers. I guess the first thing that really kind of struck me, the climax is not very climatic. I felt like it just wasn't. It was a knife fight between Paul and one of the Fremen, which was interesting, and it brought a lot of questions about some of the visions that Paul had seen through the movie, because Paul had seen these visions of, where this guy is talking to Paul, or the perspective, whoever's perspective Paul's seeing from. And so it kind of sets this up where Paul feels like he's going to survive. Like when they reveal the character, it's like, whoa, there he is, which was pretty cool. Yeah, it was just, and then he had some more visions about like him dying in the knife fight, and then I guess he used those to not die in the knife fight. So it's definitely pretty cool, but it didn't feel very, I don't know, it just wasn't a fantastic, like, over the top climax. So I've spoken to a few people already, and they're already kind of disappointed by that. Biggest thing I was disappointed by was the trailers that led up to the movie. So it's, it's a big budget sci-fi movie. Everyone's been excited. I mean, there's lots of actors that are, big name actors that are on this. And so, it's been advertised a lot these last few weeks. And it did not set up the movie. Like, it wasn't true to the movie. I mean, the things they showed in the trailer were in the movie, but they weren't. What was in, here's a good example. Okay, so down here, let's see. Okay, this was part of the trailer where he's, you see this guy in golden armor fighting. There's like an army of golden armored dudes fighting an army of silver armored dudes, right? And then, the visor opens and it's Paul with these blue eyes, which happens when you consume a lot of spice. So off the trailers, you assume that's going to happen, right, in the movie, and it does. It's one of Paul's visions, but from what I remember about the books, I think that's in book 2. I don't even think that happens in the first book. I could be totally wrong there, but it sure didn't happen in real life in this movie. And there's Zendaya's character Chani, who, in the trailers, like, they're always together. You just kind of assume that these two characters are going to meet pretty quickly, but they don't meet until almost the very end of the movie. So it just kind of was misleading. They did their job in the fact that made me want to watch the movie. but they weren't true to what the movie was, I felt like. Um, but those gripes aside, I thought it was really great. I thought I'm not very much of a movie connoisseur. I don't know. But like the cinematography, I thought was really cool. There was a scene where Paul and his mom are talking, and he's feeling kind of betrayed. And it looks like they're speaking face to face, and then it like there's a pause, and like you can see they're like pretty far away, which I don't know. I thought that was kind of cool, like representing, there's some distance between them right then. Um, yeah, they changed some things from the books, which again I haven't read it in a few years, so I'm not the best source for changes. But I know the director said he wanted the women in the books to have a bigger role in the movie, which I thought was great. I honestly, it was just fantastic. And I don't like in the book, I don't remember if Paul's mom came with them to the Fremen to meet the Fremen. I could be totally wrong, but it felt like she had a bigger role than what I remember from the book, which I'm all for. I thought that was awesome. Definitely, I feel like they really hit the mark there. But yeah, I mean, they definitely set up this world, and they set themselves apart, I feel like, from some of the other sci-fi things. I've heard so many people compare it to Star Wars, and I feel like it's not. I mean, it's not Star Wars, so it has this different feel. This maybe it just had this bigger scope. It felt like to me. I don't know. But yeah, some of the special effects were fantastic. I mean, this was a super cool scene where the Paul and his mom, Lady Jessica, are chased by the sandworm, which was super cool. The sandworms, and every time they showed up was just super cool to see. But they did a really good job. And I guess one other thing to say is the voice, which Paul and his mom, and I think the Benny Gesserit can use. That was a pretty cool focus in the whole show. It was just an interesting kind of magic system, really. But yeah, Dune was fantastic. I'm usually not one for sci-fi too much. I want to like sci-fi, but I end up not. It just doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't click with me very often. But Dune definitely did. This movie was really great, and though it's not the most climactic movie, doesn't have the best climax. It was fantastic, and everyone should watch it. So, yep. Thank you for listening to my review.